Hello everyone. We knew this was going to be a hard one when we got the Ross Colton news. Broken foot, out 6 to 8 weeks this morning. A depleted Avs lineup fell 5-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we are here to talk about some of your post-game comments and thoughts to process this one a little bit more. We'll start with an easy one. Did we get an update on LEHKY this evening? And in some much-needed positive news, Artturi Lehkonen is expected back next Tuesday in the Avs-Seattle game. Jared Bednar did say this morning that they expect him to start taking some contact in practices first, but that is still a pretty welcome return, and they're going to need him in this Avs lineup. All right, next question. My question, can you make the hurting stop? And all I can think about is John Tavares on the Leafs and his amulet that is supposed to heal people. I think I'll start a GoFundMe to see if we can raise money to get one of these amulets for the Colorado Avalanche. Next question, what is with our first period, 2 games in a row, 3 goals? I think there's a difference between both of these games. The Chicago game felt like an issue of effort and engagement, also mental fatigue, second leg of a back-to-back. Tonight, it felt like an issue of what Jared Bednar called young mistakes. First goal, a little bit of puck watching and just a little out of position from Kovalenko. Second goal, kind of similarly, Shillington not right where he needed to be. And then third goal, let me go back to my notes. It was a matter of blue line coverage. I think that entries generally just needed to be made a little bit more difficult. I wanted to see back checkers gap up on their guy a bit more aggressively, play the body if possible. Those are things that I think have been missing in this game, but also past games that they're looking to work on. And the overall feedback I've noticed when the Avs don't seem to be playing their best, they're not defending as a 5-man unit. That is how their system is designed, is to collapse and to help one another defend in their own end. And it has just felt like they are trying to do a little bit too much themselves and not working together nearly enough. All right, next question here. Do you foresee any early move on, it didn't work out, trades Tatar style? If so, care to offer honest speculation? I thought this was an interesting question just because we got to see Oliver Shillington back in a game after not seeing him for a little bit. His games as a defenseman have been particularly rough showings, but tonight he dressed as a forward, and I thought that he did everything he needed to in that role. But it does beg the question, with Ludwig sitting on the shelf as an extra man and an option for their back end, Shillington just seems like a little bit of an odd man out that they'll need to make a decision around what his role is and how they can best utilize him. And if there is some kind of return for this player who was once touted as a second-pair defenseman in Calgary, maybe that is the part of the lineup that they can afford to part ways with and give him a fresh start. Next question. Goaltending has been an issue for Avs all year. You finally get a goalie who is hot, winning all his starts and posting .926 save percentage. You proceed to healthy scratch him, and now it will be a minimum nearly a week since he last played. What is Bednar's thought process here? I'm a big Justus Annunen fan. I thought this was an interesting question because Jared Bednar is in a very difficult position. He's got 3 goaltenders. He needs to keep one confident, and Alexander Georgiev. I should say he needs to build Georgiev's confidence. He needs to keep Justus Annunen hot, in rhythm, getting starts, and also continue his confidence to grow. And then he needs to get Kähkönen in games. This is a player that missed nearly a month of hockey to sort out immigration issues, only gets a little bit of a taste in the American League for the conditioning stint. I feel with those situations laid out in front of you, you just needed to see Kähkönen in a game. I understand wanting Justus Annunen to get back in a game because he is building momentum as a hot goaltender right now. I just won't fault Jared Bednar too much for needing to see what they have in Kähkönen. And unfortunately, with goaltenders, you need to see a lot more than just one performance. Very depleted team in front of him tonight for his debut, inherited kind of a difficult situation. Second and third periods, I thought that he really settled into the net, and I found him to be tracking the puck, squaring up. He just seemed to know where it was at all times. I didn't hate his performance. I think, too, you can look at some of the breakdowns in front of him in the first and point to that as being a really difficult debut and first 20 minutes of hockey. All right, that's going to do it for the postgame today, because we're going to break down this game and what's ahead for the Colorado Avalanche more on our Off Ice show this Friday.